What if I told you the pennies in your pocket right now could be worth hundreds, even thousands, in just 2 short years? Forget the rare coins of the past. We are diving deep into the future, uncovering which specific Lincoln cents are set to explode in value by 2026. Stay with me, because you are about to discover the next big numismatic treasures before anyone else does. Number 1. A single year, a single mint, and a single level of condition quietly turned this Lincoln cent into one of the most misunderstood modern coins in American numismatics, because what appears ordinary at first glance hides a story that only reveals itself to collectors who know exactly what to look for, and the question is simple: could something this small really command serious attention today? The 2009 Lincoln cent featuring the Professional Life in Illinois design was issued during the Lincoln Bicentennial Celebration, a historic program that honored different stages of Abraham Lincoln's life, and this particular design captures Lincoln as a lawyer and statesman, symbolizing ambition, discipline, and the foundations of leadership that shaped the nation. This coin matters because it was struck during one of the most disruptive periods in modern mint history. When the financial crisis sharply reduced demand for circulating coinage, production priorities shifted, and quality control for everyday cents became inconsistent, creating an environment where pristine examples became unexpectedly elusive. While the total mintage may suggest abundance, the reality is far different, because nearly all of these coins were released directly into circulation, where contact marks, weak strikes, and dull surfaces formed almost immediately, leaving only a microscopic fraction that survived with full original luster and untouched detail. What separates ordinary examples from elite ones is not age or metal, but condition at the absolute highest level, where every line in Lincoln's coat must be crisp, the fields must remain clean and reflective, and the strike must be strong across the entire design, which raises an important question: do you believe condition alone can create massive value? At the Denver Mint, the Professional Life design proved especially unforgiving, because even minor flaws stand out instantly on this detailed portrait, and as a result, true top grade examples are so rare that most collectors will never encounter one in person during their lifetime. Collectors compete aggressively for this coin today because it has become a modern registry battleground, where completing a top-ranked Lincoln cent set depends on securing one of the finest known examples. And once these coins are placed into long-term collections, opportunities vanish for years at a time. Demand has intensified as awareness spreads, because experienced collectors now understand that modern rarity is defined by survival, not mintage, and when a coin from a historic program like the Lincoln Bicentennial becomes nearly impossible to upgrade, competition escalates quickly. So could one overlooked detail change everything in your collection? The reward for staying until the end is the market proof, because the highest verified auction price for the 2009 Lincoln cent Professional Life in Illinois was realized at Heritage Auctions in 2019, when a top-graded example brought $13,800, and specialists now estimate that if another coin of equal or superior quality appears under peak demand conditions, values could approach $42,000 in future competitive bidding. This is why every coin deserves a second look, because today's overlooked cent can become tomorrow's modern classic. And now it is your turn to join the conversation by sharing which Lincoln cents you own, which year or mint mark you want analyzed next, and whether you believe demand for elite modern coins like this one is only just beginning. Number 2. Most people believe a 1976 Lincoln cent without a mint mark is ordinary, forgettable, and worth exactly 1 cent. But what if the real story hides in plain sight and only reveals itself to those who know where to look and how closely to look? Because this coin quietly challenges everything collectors think they know about modern pennies and turns simple pocket change into a serious conversation about rarity and demand. This cent was struck during one of the most symbolic years in American history, the Bicentennial Era, a time when the nation reflected on 200 years of independence and the U.S. Mint was operating at massive scale to meet public demand. Yet in that flood of production something unexpected happened, because when millions of coins are struck, perfection becomes rare, and that is where this coin begins to separate itself from the crowd. At first glance, the design looks familiar. Lincoln facing right with strong patriotic symbolism, but experienced Collectors know that familiarity can be misleading, because the real value does not come from age alone, it comes from survival, preservation, and microscopic details that most people never notice, which raises an important question. Have you ever examined a common coin as if it might be extraordinary? The truth is that the overwhelming majority of 1976 Lincoln cents were heavily circulated, bag-marked, or poorly stored, which means pristine examples with blazing original luster. Razor-sharp strike and untouched surfaces are shockingly scarce today, and condition alone can turn an everyday coin into a trophy-level collectible that top registry collectors actively compete to own. What separates an ordinary example from an elite one is not luck, it is precision, because elite coins show full original red color, strong detail in Lincoln's hair and coat, clean fields without distracting marks, and perfect balance between strike quality and eye appeal. And when all of these factors align, demand skyrockets among collectors who want the very best. As grading standards tightened over time, fewer and fewer 1976 no-mint mark cents qualified for the highest levels, which created a bottleneck effect, because collectors building top-ranked sets need these coins, but supply at the elite level simply cannot increase. And that imbalance fuels intense competition whenever one appears on the market. This growing competition has transformed how the collecting community views modern Lincoln cents, shifting them from overlooked pocket change into condition rarities. And many collectors who once ignored these coins are now asking themselves a powerful question: could one overlooked detail change everything about what a coin is worth? The excitement builds because every new auction result reinforces the same message, that condition-based rarity matters just as much as age. And in some cases even more, which is why demand has intensified year after year. As more collectors realize that the finest survivors of common issues are becoming the true keys of the future, now comes the moment reserved for viewers who stayed until the end, because the highest verified auction price for a 1976 Lincoln cent with no mint mark was realized at Heritage Auctions in the year 2019, where an elite, top-graded example achieved an eye-opening result that shocked many collectors, and expert market estimates suggest that exceptional future examples could approach $48,000 in the right competitive setting. If this coin changed the way you look at your pocket change, share which coins you currently own and whether you have ever checked them this closely. Tell us which year or mint mark you want analyzed next, and do you believe condition alone can continue creating massive value in modern coins? Because the discussion does not end here, and your comment could spark the next big collector debate. Number 3. Most people overlook the 1966 Lincoln cent with no mint mark as just another ordinary penny from a confusing era. But what if this coin represents one of the most misunderstood chapters in modern U.S. coinage, where scarcity is not obvious, mint marks disappeared, and only the sharpest-eyed collectors recognized what others ignored? The year 1966 sits at a turning point in American coin history, when the U.S. Mint was under intense pressure from nationwide coin shortages, leading to the temporary removal of mint marks and a dramatic shift in how coins were produced, handled, and released. And this unusual environment created conditions where true quality became exceptionally rare. At first glance, this Lincoln cent looks familiar, but the context behind it changes everything, because most examples were struck quickly for circulation, often with weak strikes, dull surfaces, and heavy contact marks, which means coins that survived with strong detail, smooth fields, and original color are far scarcer than mintage numbers suggest. What truly separates ordinary examples from elite survivors is condition-based rarity, because high-grade coins show crisp lettering, strong definition in Lincoln's portrait, even copper coloration, and minimal surface distractions. And finding all of these traits together on a 1966 cent is far more difficult than most collectors realize. As grading standards became stricter over time, many coins once considered high-grade no longer qualified, shrinking the population of top-tier examples even further. And this is where demand intensifies, because serious collectors building advanced Lincoln cent sets need these coins to compete at the highest level. Collectors today are not chasing this coin because it is old, they are chasing it because it is hard to find in elite condition. And that reality has shifted the market dramatically, turning a once-ignored penny into a battleground whenever a truly exceptional piece appears for sale, which raises an important question. Do you believe condition alone can transform a common coin into a major prize? The story becomes even more compelling when you realize how many people still spend or store these coins casually, unaware that microscopic differences in surface quality and strike can mean the difference between face value and serious collector interest. And that is why experienced collectors inspect every example with care. Now comes the reward for those who stayed until the end. Because the highest verified auction price for a 1966 Lincoln cent with no mint mark was achieved at Heritage Auctions in the year 2021, where a top-graded, elite-quality example realized $14,100, and market specialists believe that future record-setting pieces could push significantly higher as demand continues to grow. If this changed how you view your pennies, share what coins you currently own and whether you have ever checked them this closely. Tell us which year or mint mark you want analyzed next, and do you think modern condition rarities like this will become the next major focus for collectors? Because your opinion can shape the next big discussion in the collecting world. Number 4. Most people have spent a 1971 Lincoln cent with a D mint mark without a second thought. But what if this everyday penny hides one of the most dramatic condition-based stories in modern U.S. coinage, where common circulation meets elite rarity, and only a tiny fraction escape unnoticed by history? The 1971 D Lincoln cent was struck during a period of enormous production at the Denver Mint, when speed mattered more than perfection and coins were pushed into circulation as quickly as possible, creating a situation where quantity exploded but true quality quietly disappeared, setting the stage for a modern rarity that few collectors recognized at the time. At first glance, this coin looks ordinary, but experienced collectors understand that ordinary appearance can be deceiving, because most examples were weakly struck, heavily bag marked, or quickly dulled in circulation, which makes sharply struck coins with full original red color and clean surfaces astonishingly scarce today. What separates an everyday example from an elite survivor is precision, because the highest quality coins show crisp detail in Lincoln's hair, strong lettering, smooth fields, and blazing mint luster that never faded, and when all of these elements come together, the coin instantly moves into a different category entirely, as grading services tighten standards over the decades. Many coins once considered top quality were re-evaluated, dramatically reducing the population of true elite examples, and this shrinking supply has fueled intense competition among collectors building top-ranked Lincoln cent sets who need this date and mint in flawless condition. Collectors are not competing for this coin because of age or nostalgia. They are competing because perfection from high-output years is incredibly rare, and that raises a powerful question. Have you ever checked a common penny closely enough to see if it might actually be uncommon? Demand for top-tier 1971 D cents has steadily intensified as registry competition grows, because once a coin reaches the highest condition levels, no new supply can ever be created, and that imbalance between demand and availability continues to push interest higher year after year. Now comes the moment reserved for viewers who stayed to the end. Because the highest verified auction price for a 1971 Lincoln cent with a D mint mark was realized at Heritage Auctions in the year 2019, when a spectacular, top-graded example achieved an astonishing result of $18,000, proving that condition alone can redefine value in modern coinage. If this story changed the way you look at your pocket change, share which Lincoln cents you currently own and whether you have ever inspected them this closely. Tell us which year or mint mark you want analyzed next. And do you believe future demand for elite modern pennies will keep rising, because your comment can spark the next major collector conversation? Number 5. Most people would never pause over a 1980 Lincoln cent with a D mint mark. Yet this coin tells one of the most surprising modern stories in U.S. numismatics, where extreme production collided with microscopic perfection and quietly created a condition rarity that now commands serious respect from elite collectors. The year 1980 came during a period of intense penny production at the Denver Mint, when efficiency ruled and speed mattered more than flawless detail, meaning millions of coins poured into circulation with little concern for long-term preservation. And that environment made true quality the rarest feature of all. On the surface, this Lincoln cent looks completely ordinary, But that assumption is exactly why so few people ever recognized its potential, because most examples suffered from weak strikes, dull surfaces, carbon spotting, or immediate circulation wear, leaving only a tiny fraction that survived with full original brilliance and sharp definition. What separates an average example from an elite one is absolute precision, because top-tier 1980D cents show blazing red copper color, clean and reflective fields, razor-sharp lettering, and strong detail in Lincoln's hair and coat, and finding all of these characteristics together is far more difficult than most collectors expect. As years passed, grading services raised standards and became increasingly selective, which dramatically reduced the number of coins qualifying at the highest levels, and this shift transformed the 1980D cent into a true condition rarity, especially for collectors competing in high-end registry sets. Collectors today are not chasing this coin because it is old or nostalgic, they are chasing it because perfection from mass production years is exceptionally rare, and that reality forces an important question. Do you believe condition alone can create massive value even in modern pocket change? Demand has intensified as more advanced collectors realize that no matter how many millions were struck, the supply of flawless survivors is permanently fixed, and every time one appears on the market, competition becomes fierce, driven by collectors who understand that opportunities like this do not come often. Many people still store or spend these coins casually, unaware that one overlooked detail, a surface mark, a weak strike, or faded color, can mean the difference between face value and a coin that serious collectors actively pursue, which makes careful inspection more important than ever. Now comes the reward for viewers who stayed until the end, because the highest verified auction price for a 1980 Lincoln cent with a D mint mark was realized at Heritage Auctions in the year 2019, when a top-graded, elite-quality example achieved approximately $20,000. And specialists believe that under the right competitive conditions, future record-setting examples could climb even higher as demand continues to grow. If this changed the way you look at your pennies, share which Lincoln cents you currently own and whether you have ever examined them this closely. Tell us which year or mint mark should be analyzed next, and do you believe modern condition rarities like this will become the future stars of coin collecting? Because your opinion can ignite the next major discussion among collectors. Number 6. Most people have spent a 1981 Lincoln cent with a D mint mark without a second thought. But what if this quiet, overlooked penny tells a powerful modern collecting story where extreme mintage hides elite rarity and condition alone rewrites everything collectors once believed about common sense? The 1981 D Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint during a period of massive penny production, when speed and quantity mattered far more than perfection, and billions were released into circulation almost immediately, creating a situation where survival in flawless condition became the real challenge rather than simple existence. At first glance, this coin looks no different from thousands of others that pass through pocket change every day, but experienced collectors understand that appearances deceive, because most examples show weak strikes, contact marks from bulk handling, faded copper color, or early circulation wear, meaning true high-end survivors are astonishingly scarce today. What separates an ordinary 1981 D cent from an elite example is precision at every level, because top-tier coins display full blazing red original copper color, sharp detail in Lincoln's hair and coat, crisp lettering, a clearly defined D mint mark, and clean reflective fields free of distracting marks. And finding all of these qualities together is far rarer than mintage figures suggest. As years passed, grading services tightened standards, re-examined earlier submissions, and became far more selective at the highest levels, which dramatically reduced the population of coins qualifying as elite, turning the 1981 D cent into a true condition rarity sought after by advanced collectors and registry competitors. Collectors today are not chasing this coin because of age or nostalgia. They are chasing it because perfection from a mass production era is extremely rare, and once a coin reaches the top condition tier, no new examples can ever be created, which raises an important question. Do you believe condition alone can create massive value even in modern pocket change? Demand has intensified steadily as more collectors build competitive Lincoln cent sets, because the finest examples become permanent trophies, and whenever one appears on the market, it attracts immediate attention from buyers who understand that opportunities like this do not come often. Many people still store or spend these coins casually, unaware that microscopic differences such as surface preservation, strike sharpness, or original color can mean the difference between face value and serious collector interest, which is why experienced collectors inspect every single cent with patience and discipline. Now comes the reward for viewers who stayed until the end. Because the highest verified auction price for a 1981 Lincoln cent with a D mint mark was achieved at Heritage Auctions in the year 2017, when a PCGS graded MS67 Plus red example realized $5,170, proving beyond doubt that condition alone can elevate an ordinary modern penny into a true numismatic standout. Looking ahead, market specialists believe that as registry competition grows and top-quality survivors become even harder to locate, elite examples could continue pushing higher, and in extreme competitive scenarios, long-term estimates suggest values could one day approach $40,000–$80,000, rewarding collectors who recognize rarity before the rest of the market does. If this story changed the way you look at your pennies, share which Lincoln cents you currently own and whether you have ever examined them this closely. Tell us which year or mint mark should be analyzed next, and do you believe modern condition rarities like this will become the future stars of U.S. coin collecting? Because your opinion can spark long debates and help shape where demand goes next. Number 7. Most people see a 1978 Lincoln cent with no mint mark and immediately assume it is nothing more than ordinary pocket change. But what if this familiar penny quietly represents one of the clearest examples of how modern condition rarity can turn a common coin into a serious collector target that experts actively hunt today? The year 1978 came during a period of extremely high cent production in the United States, when the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents to meet everyday demand, and because speed and volume mattered far more than perfection, most coins entered circulation immediately and suffered contact marks, dulling, and wear almost from the moment they were released. At first glance, the design feels completely familiar, but experienced collectors know that familiarity is often the biggest trap, because when millions of coins are produced, true quality becomes the rarest feature of all, and that is exactly what defines the upper tier of 1978 Lincoln cents today. The overwhelming majority of examples show uneven color, bag marks, weak strike detail, or surface disturbances that permanently limit their desirability, which means coins that survived with blazing original red copper color, sharp definition in Lincoln's hair and coat, clean fields, and strong eye appeal are dramatically scarcer than mintage numbers alone would suggest. What separates an ordinary example from an elite one is precision at every level. Because top-grade coins show crisp lettering, smooth reflective surfaces, full luster, and a strike so clean that the coin looks almost untouched by time, and finding all of these qualities together on a 1978 cent is far more difficult than most people realize, as professional grading standards became stricter over time. Many coins that once appeared high quality were no longer eligible for the highest grades, shrinking the population of true elite survivors and creating a bottleneck effect where collector demand far exceeds available supply at the top end. Collectors today do not compete for this coin because of age or nostalgia, they compete because perfection from mass production years is incredibly rare, and once a coin reaches the highest condition tier, no new examples can ever be created, which raises a powerful question. Have you ever checked your coins this closely before? Demand has intensified steadily as registry set competition has grown, because advanced collectors need the finest known examples to rank at the top, and when one of these exceptional 1978 cents appears on the market, it immediately attracts attention from buyers who understand how limited these opportunities truly are. Many people still store or spend these pennies casually, unaware that microscopic differences in surface preservation, strike quality, and original color can mean the difference between face value and serious collector interest, which is why seasoned collectors inspect every coin carefully instead of assuming modern equals common. Now comes the reward for viewers who stayed until the end, because the highest verified auction price for a 1978 Lincoln cent with no mint mark was realized at Heritage Auctions in the year 2014. when a top-graded PCGS MS67 Plus red example achieved $4,259, proving beyond doubt that condition alone can redefine value in modern United States coinage. If this story changed how you look at your pennies, share which Lincoln cents you currently own and whether you have ever examined them this closely. Tell us which year or mint mark should be analyzed next, and do you believe condition-based rarity will continue to drive demand for modern Lincoln cents? Because your comment could spark a long and valuable discussion among collectors worldwide.